Hey everybody. I'm a hot mess today. I'm just gonna tell you that because I have got COVID. And Sunday I was down for the count. Yesterday, a little better, but not really functional. And today I'm starting to feel pretty decent. So wanted to talk to you all about your dog's aggressive and reactive behavior and the role that regulating their emotions, right? So you may have heard me talk about emotional dysregulation cycle. And by the way, we are having our free webinar tomorrow night. So I'm dating this. So if you watch it some other time, sorry about that, but it is August 2024. So we're having it tomorrow night, which is Wednesday, the 28th. Let me just check because, yes, Wednesday the 28th. If you want the link to register for that webinar, you know the word CALM, C-A-L-M, and we will send you the link so that you can register for that free webinar, Dog Aggression, Fact versus Fiction. Come and learn why everything you've been told is not working. And today I'm going to just talk to you about why calming your dog's nervous system is so important. I'm just going to make this come over here a little bit. Can you still see you, Gio? Yes. Okay. So your dog's nervous system, think of it as a pie crust. Okay. I'm a visual person, pie crust. If you have a burned pie crust, which this is, I know Gio would love this, right? But pretty dark, overcooked pie crust. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we put in here. You can get the best ingredients. You can source them organically. You can source them fresh. You can go and pick whatever you want. It doesn't matter what ingredients you put in this pie crust. The whole thing is going to taste like burned pie crust. Okay. COVID. Sorry if you missed the introduction. I am recovering from COVID. I'm going to do the best I can here. So think of your dog's nervous system like this burned pie crust, in that any kind of training, sit down, stay, obedience training, shock collar, prong collar, being more dominant, whatever it might be, you're going to try to do that over a nervous system that is misfiring, overwhelmed. It's not calm. Okay. It's like having this burned pie crust. Nothing's going to taste good that you put in here. The same thing with your dog. It's a good practice for tomorrow night to make sure I can do this. Hold, please. Okay. So, little COVID brain. If you're trying to teach your dog to sit, to look at you, to lie down, to go to place, any of those things while their nervous system is dysregulated. So while they're in an emotional dysregulated state, or cycle is what I call it, an emotional dysregulation cycle, you will have very poor outcome because the dog can't focus on what you're trying to do when they're all worked up. Just like no matter what kind of great ingredients you put into this pie crust shell, it's going to taste terrible because this is the foundation of everything. And your dog's nervous system is very similar. It's the foundation. So Gio here is super mellow, right? He just is. That's just genetically who he is. I didn't train him to be this way. He's just super mellow. He loves to sit in chairs because I always feed him when he is. And so when he sees me start getting everything ready, he's very excited for that. Okay. His nervous system is naturally calm. He is almost always in a state of being able to learn and focus and follow a direction or a command. Okay. But if your dog is barking, lunging, growling on walks, if your dogs are fighting in the home, if your dog has stranger danger, meaning you're trying to have guests over, maybe you've stopped having guests over because you just can't, because you're afraid they're going to bite somebody and have to be put down. Hold. I knew it was risky going live, but I figured it was worth a shot anyway. Then, all right, sorry, I lost my train of thought. COVID again. So how do you know if your dog is in an emotional dysregulation cycle? Your dog is in an emotional dysregulation cycle if they are barking, lunging, growling at sounds you can't hear in the car, maybe at the TV, on walks at people or other dogs, if your dogs are fighting in the home, and if you stopped having people over because you're afraid your dog is going to bite somebody. Those are all the places, and then some, where emotional dysregulation will show up. Having a dog with an emotional dysregulation cycle that is sort of stuck in that keeps them in fight or flight mode. When they're in an emotional dysregulation cycle, it's like having a burned pie crust, in that it doesn't matter what you're trying to teach them, what method you're using, you're going to have very poor luck in succeeding because your dog can't focus because their their nervous system is misfiring. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So, what do you do? Well, in our program, we're using something called functional dog training. It's a term I made up because it's not about sit down, stay. It is not about obedience. It is about setting up the environment for your dog's success. It is, oh, my camera's following me. It is about setting up that environment, not only so your dog can be successful, so they can feel safe, so your guests can feel safe if you're having guests come over, and so that they can learn to be calm and how to be calm. And they can learn, you can think of being calm as the new sit. When they are calm, you hear them take that sigh. They finally lay down. Now is the time that they can participate, they can have access, you can change the environment so they can come out and join you. Okay. And depending on what is your number one issue with your dog will depend on how we manipulate that environment. So maybe you have a dog that's super social, jumps all over everybody, loves everybody that comes to your house. Okay, that's still an emotional dysregulation cycle. It's not leading to aggression or biting, and it may not be moving towards reactivity, but their nervous system is still out of whack and needs to calm down. Those dogs need to calm down just as much as the dogs that are worried, anxious, or aggressive. Okay. So let me just read you some of the things folks have been emailing me in preparation for this free webinar we have. Again, it's tomorrow night, August 28th, 2024. I am dating this. So if you watch this live later on, I'm sorry. The word still will work. So your word is calm. Put calm in the comments. We will either send you the link to register for the webinar that's tomorrow, or we'll get you on the priority wait list, depending on when we see that come through. So no worries. We'll either get you in or we'll get you on the wait list. That free webinar is tomorrow night, Dog Aggression, Fact versus Fiction. Come and learn why everything you've been told is not working. So maybe these are some of the things that people have been saying to me recently. They feel defeated or deflated, but they don't want to give up on their dog. They feel like they don't know how to train the dog, that a lot of people have used 2, 3, 4 trainers. Somebody else said to me today that they sent their dog away for a 3-week board and train, and yet the dog is still having issues. Somebody said she shouldn't be acting like this. He knows he's wrong when he bites because he goes and hides, which of course dogs are not moral beings. They're frustrated. They've had a dog all their life, but they've never had a dog like this one. They're embarrassed, they're at their wits' end, they feel like a failure. They want their dog to be confident and relaxed, and somebody even said they have a nightmare dog. So if any of those things sound like you, we encourage you to come and join us for our free webinar tomorrow night, Dog Aggression, Fact versus Fiction. Come and learn why everything you've been told is not working. We're going to be talking a lot about the dog's nervous system, how nervous systems relate to pie crusts, in that you burn the pie crust, doesn't matter what you put in, it's going to taste like burned pie crust. If your dog is in an emotional dysregulation cycle, well, their nervous system is overwhelmed and short-circuiting, keeping them stuck in fight or flight mode, then it almost doesn't matter what type of training you do, they're not going to be able to focus and pay attention because underneath they're a wreck. All right, you guys, the word is calm, CALM. If it's before tomorrow night, we're going to send you the link so that you can register for the webinar. If it's after the webinar, we'll just send you the link so that you can get on the priority list wait list. All right, you guys, thanks for joining, and I will see you. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Bye. Bye, YouTube.